Well, the coalition has been under continued pressure this week to release modelling backing up its claim that a gas reservation policy would drive wholesale prices down by the end of the year. The opposition is also promising to speed up the approvals of new gas projects if it wins office, and is also taking its nuclear power policy to the election. Ted O'Brien is the Shadow Climate and Energy Minister and joins me now. Ted O'Brien, welcome back to Breakfast.
Thank you very much, Sally. Great to be with you.
When will the public see the modelling that this plan will drive down wholesale domestic gas prices to $10 a gigajoule by the end of the year?
Oh, that won't be long from now, Sally. We've gone about this in a very methodical way and very similar to how we have released other policies, especially in the energy area, by explaining what the policy is, the outcomes are planned to be, and then we release modelling. I think your question is a fair one, though, especially given that, as it stands now, the Albanese government has no modelling whatsoever for its energy policy. The Prime Minister confirmed that it is thrown out its modelling. So it is quite extraordinary that after 3 years of the Albanese government, and Australians now paying among the highest prices for electricity in the world, the government is conceding that it has no modelling to back up its energy policy, and yet it ploughs ahead.
The Coalition's modelling, have you seen it or have you just been briefed on it?
No, certainly we are very aware of it, as I have personally been involved, and that'll be released in due course. And we are supremely confident that we can get the price of gas down. I mean, gas is just so critical to everyone's lives. I mean, there are listeners this morning who would be using gas for their own heating at home or cooking. It often sets the price of electricity. And a lot of the products we buy from the shelf, if you buy a loaf of bread, a bottle of milk, a jar of jam, the packaging all requires gas. Any fresh produce, your apples and bananas, they're probably made with the help of gas. You buy some pharmaceuticals from the chemist, gas. Steel, bricks, gas.
But just to draw you back to the question, have you seen the modelling?
Absolutely, I have seen the modelling, Sally, and this is why we have to move ahead, because Australians have been paying the highest prices for gas, as they have for other energy sources over the last 3 years than they ever have in their history. And it is no wonder that as a result, Australians now have had the biggest drop in the standard of living of any country in the world. And that is because the basics have not been looked after by the Albanese government, and that includes energy.
Can you clarify how gas companies will be forced to reserve supply for the domestic market? What's the stick here? What's the penalty if they choose not to do that?
Well, look, our number one priority is to increase supply of gas. That's the number one thing. We need to unlock more gas, get gas out of the ground. Number two, we need to prioritise gas for the Australian people. And number three, we need to get it to where it's needed. So we have a full suite of policies to deliver on those outcomes and to make sure it's delivered in Australia at a cheaper price, which means we need to decouple it from the international market. Then how we do that? Well, in the short term, how we do it is we work with the big gas companies, especially those which are exporting, to ensure that they can allocate more Australian gas to the Australian market. So we're wanting to see up to an additional 20% put into the market, and we believe that can be done while also honouring the volumes and economics of the deals in place with our key trading partners, the foundation partners.
Ted O'Brien, on a separate issue, the Coalition has said that it intends to cut 41,000 public service jobs that have been added during Labor's term in government. If you're the Climate and Energy Minister after the election, would you want to see your department in Canberra cut, and would you scrap the Net Zero Economy Authority?
So we haven't made any announcements on the latter, Sally, and I won't be doing it on your program with due respect. But my personal background is business, And so I am completely outcome focused. And that means when it comes to any public service organisation under any department that I'm fortunate enough to manage, if we were elected, they'll be focused on driving prices lower, ensuring energy reliability, guaranteeing our energy security while they keep driving down emissions. Now, in terms of the skill set and the numbers, that will be determined from government, but it will be a laser focus on those outcomes.